Pickup trucks used to be affordable vehicles that helped you get your work done. Now, they become over-technical, overpriced, over-optioned, and overly complicated machines, the likes of which most Americans can no longer justify spending their hard-earned money on. America's pickup truck manufacturers have a huge problem, and things are not looking good for dealerships after years of price gouging finally catches up to them. Crazy dealer markups are no longer the only issue truck buyers now have to deal with. Ford recently raised the MSRP of all their trucks, and prices are so high that it's basically killed the truck market, and vehicles are just sitting on lots not selling.
This new Tundra is $75,000, but this 2002 Tundra is only $12,000. This 2023 Ford Raptor is $96,000, but this 2012 Raptor is just $28,000.
Recent changes at GM and Stellantis have caused the truck market to get even worse, and now every dealership seems to be in big trouble. Article after article and video after video reveal a ton of pushback from consumers talking about how angry they are about these markups. And as a result, truck buyers are no longer loyal to any one brand. Combined with the highest interest rates in recent history, this is now creating a snowball effect that dealerships are going to have a hard time coming out of, and some of them might not even survive.
This F-150 is $135,850.
The thing is, it's an F-150.
Yeah, it's an F-150 with some wheels, tires, and a lift. And obviously 775 horsepower.
I like the power.
Now they do have a bunch of Lightnings here, and we already know that these are expensive, but let me show you how much this one is. This black one here is one of the highest trim levels that I have seen, and it even has like a fancy white leather interior with the heated and cooled seats, and it is a whopping $94,085. And we got two more here, and this one here, and more over there. So as you can see, these trucks are still stacking up, and they are still very, very expensive, and they even add on more to make them more expensive. But that's not the only modified versions of the F-150s that they have. They have the Roush, they have the Shelby, but they also have some other brand that I've never heard of before. Let me show you that. So behind me, they've got a pretty crazy row of anywhere from $90,000 all the way to $152,000 worth of trucks. And it is a bit loud because they have a ply car delivery truck here. They were pulling in a Bentley and a Range Rover earlier, but my mom is standing in front of this Roush, which is like around 90 grand. There's this, what they call a Black Widow Ford F-150 right here.
It has a Black Widow badge.
It's what?
The Black Widow badge, but there's no...
Yeah, it's got a black...
no price on it.
It's got a Black Widow badge, some shiny black chrome wheels. It is lifted with some decent suspension. It looks like they didn't go crazy with the shock. But there is no price on this one. Oh, there is a price. And so the price of this one is original MSRP of $73,000. The Black Widow package, which is $29,708, just comes with a bunch of like appearance stuff, like a lift kit, wheels, dual exhaust, interior bits, but that brings it to $102,893, which is just nuts. And to be honest, this package being $30,000 basically, you could probably get this look for half the price if you did it on your own and not from a dealer. Then they have this one here, which is called a Black Ops in this cherry red color. I do like the wheels that they picked on this one. It's very military-ish right here. And I'm guessing this is just a trim package as well. Let's see how much this one is. So with this package with wheels, tires, lifts, they painted the bumper caps and everything else. You can see this whole list right here. They do have the mud terrains, but they're asking $107,310 for this package. And then here's the most expensive truck that I have found here. It's this Hennessy Venom 775. So it's got Hennessy wheels, 35-inch tires, a really, really good Fox suspension, which probably makes this thing ride like it's on a cloud. And honestly, probably this Fox suspension is probably even better than what the new Raptor has on it. Got a nice badge here, but this only has the window sticker for $76,460, and that's just the base price of this truck. But with this Hennessy package, I did look online real quick, and this Hennessy Venom package will actually run you about $152,000 to $160,000. So
That makes this about a $160,000 F-150 pickup truck, which for an F-150 is the most expensive that I have seen so far. Here's something that's pretty rare to see that I have never seen on any of the Ram lots so far. We've got a 3500 HD, single cab, no back door, no extended cab, and the long box. So if you want to do some work, this could be the truck for you. It's pretty much the biggest one they make, but also the smallest at the same time, if that makes any sense. Let's see how much it is though. Got a 2024 3500 Tradesman regular cab 4x4 long box, base price of $51,700. And they've got a few other smaller options here, but the most expensive one is the 6.7 liter Cummins turbo diesel for almost $10,000, and the Uconnect screen for $815, bringing it to $67,320. I don't know about you, but I think that is quite a lot of money for a two-door HD truck. Although this is rare, that's quite expensive for what you get, because here's a 3500 Ram with 4 doors, and I kind of have a little bit of sticker shock here. I didn't expect it to be this much. This is a 2024 Bighorn long box for $83,320. I can see why Ram is having a hard time selling all these HD trucks. They're just so expensive for what you get. If you're using it for work, makes sense, take the write-off, do whatever, but prices are still a little bit out of touch. All right, I made it to the great state of Toyota, where they are overflowing with Tundras. You got them going all the way down here to the entrance, and then all the way down this row, pretty much as far as the eye can see. And that is really far back. And I want to start with this one because it looks like a bit of a lower trim level Tundra. It is 4-wheel drive. It is an SR5 trim level. It does have some nice seats and a decent sized screen, but it doesn't have the one that takes up almost the whole dash. Front end black with no chrome, but I actually prefer the black grille. See how much this is. This is a 2024 Tundra 4x4 in Lunar Rock, SR5 double cab, 6.5 foot bed, and the price is not too crazy actually. MSRP is $54,379. However, once you get into the higher trim level trucks like this TRD off-road, prices get a little bit sketchy. So we got a TRD off-road, TRD wheels, limited. It is the larger cab. The one over there is the smaller cab, as you can see. The back door is not as big, obviously. Let's see how much this one is. This is a 2024 Tundra 4x4 Crew Max with a 5.5 foot bed. And this is where the prices go up. And it'll run you $63,474. One thing that I'm noticing as I look in a couple of these stickers is I don't see any discounts on these in the window, which you would think with all of these stacked up here, one of Toyota's or this dealership's #1 priorities would be to show some sort of discount or that they're willing to make deals to get rid of these. But right now it doesn't look like they are. It looks like they're just going to hang on to these at full price until someone comes in and buys it. This is an interesting trim level here. This is actually a TRD Pro, and I didn't think there was a TRD Pro here. So let's see how much this is, because it's probably going to be quite a bit. So again, this is a TRD Pro, and they have this interesting kind of camo pattern print on the tailgate and the bumper here. Got the fender covers. They've got the black over fenders that are the same print, and they've got nice TRD wheels with the black center cap and Falcon Wild Peaks. I love the TRD Pro grille. I still think the grille is too big on this model. I like the previous generation of this truck. Let's see how much this TRD Pro is. It's actually the first one I've seen at this dealership. They don't come around too often, let alone sit at the dealership and not sell. So I'm actually surprised this is still here. So this is a 2024, and it will cost you $73,980. So yeah, that's a lot of money, but at least it doesn't have all these droppings from birds in this tree up here. The hood's at least clean on that one. And I think over here they have some used Tundras. So let's walk over here real quick and just see what one of these used Tundras are priced at. All right, we've got this white SR5 Tundra. It is a 2023 model. It was $51,995, which is interesting because that brand new one over there was $54,000, and I'd just rather have the new one. But now it's probably been sitting a while. It's $47,211, and it has 7,000 miles. All right, I made it to Ford. They actually have 4 brand new 2024 Ford Mavericks on the lot. They all have different prices, different trim levels, and I just want to show you what they're going for and if there's a discount on any of these, because it's really rare to see not only one Ford Maverick on a Ford lot, but 4 brand new Mavericks. These things are usually gone in a second. This one is one of the higher trim levels. This is a trimmer package, and it's going to be kind of the most expensive one in this lineup. Unfortunately, the sticker is in the seat upside down. right there, folded in half. So I can't tell you how much this is, but it's probably over 40 grand, just a guess. This is a Lariat package in silver. I do like the brown leather interior. And let's see how much this Maverick is, because I know it's cheaper than the trimmer. This is actually a 2023 for $36,520. And I'm actually surprised there's a 2023 on the lot. But something interesting is if you look at this little discount, you can get 500 bucks off. So a little discount on a Maverick, which is not bad because they're hard to find. This one actually is a really good deal. And we're getting down in price here to where the Maverick is becoming the affordable truck it's supposed to be. This is a 2024 XLT, 2.5 liter hybrid engine for $33,745. And on this one, there is actually no discount. So this sticker still says $33,745, but this white one is even cheaper. It's also an XLT, pretty much the same interior, it looks like. This is a 2024 hybrid, and the price is $31,775. So we're not dipping into the 20s, but we're at least at the very, very low 30s on this Maverick. And on this one, there's no discount as well for $33,775. And I'm pretty sure they'll sell all of these probably within the next week or so, because Mavericks have been hard to find, but you can find some here at Lithia Ford. All right, we're making a quick pit stop here at the Nissan dealership. One, because I haven't been to Nissan in quite a while, and two, the Nissan Titan you see behind me is pretty much dead. This is the last year for it, and I wanted to see what prices were like on these Titans, and if they're trying to just sell them at retail, or if they're just getting rid of them really quick with some discounts. So we've got a few here. We've got a couple right here. This is a Pro 4X, this red one. So I want to check that out first. So we got a nice red Pro 4X with some general grabber tires and some pretty hardcore side steps. But the front end does look pretty decent. Again, it's not the best looking front end or entirely the best looking truck. Some of these look good lifted, but there's several reasons the Titan is kind of dead. But we're not going to go into that. Let's see how much this red one is. It's a 2024 5.6 liter V8 Endurance Pro 4X four-wheel drive, 400 horsepower V8 engine. You're looking at an MSRP of $65,625. And there's no discount, and they have a dealer add-on. They only put window tint on it, which is not terrible, and they're charging $179 for that window tint, bringing it to $65,804. So the funny thing is, some of the lower trim level F-150s are $65,000, but you can get a fully loaded V8 Pro 4X, which is one of the higher trim levels of the Titan, for the same price of $65,000. Now they do have a Platinum Reserve four-wheel drive. This is more of a luxury trim level Titan. You got chrome here and some chrome on the side steps and shiny wheels. Also a 2024 V8 4x4 crew cab, Platinum Reserve, $69,420. $179 window tint, and bringing it to $69,599. And that looks like $69,000, well, basically $70,000 is the highest price you're gonna get on these Titans. So if you want a good V8, four-wheel drive, Pro 4 trim level, or limited, whatever your choice is, maybe grab one of these Titans. I'm curious to see though, we have this version that I've never heard of. It's the Midnight SV 4x4, and it looks like everything is blacked out on it, which I think is pretty cool. I even like the black wheels. Let me see how much it is. Still the V8 four-wheel drive at $62,020 with the window tint, obviously. So that's not too bad. Looking at a Tundra, that's pretty cool. All right, I made it here to Chevy, and we were at this dealer like the others back in December, and they were loaded up with trucks, and it looks like they still have a lot, but not as much. We got this entire row that goes all the way down here and around the corner as far as you can see, and they also have some over on this side and around the corner. However, they do have sections here that are finally emptying out, so they are finally starting to get some of these trucks off the lots. So we know that that's empty back here, but I want to walk around this corner and see how many they have on this backside. We do have a couple empty spots here as well, and some more empty spots right here. All of this, again, used to be full of trucks, and you barely couldn't even walk anywhere. They even had trucks stacked along this row wherever they could and parked on top of the curbs here. So it does look like they are selling, but again, still very, very slowly. And this is also empty all along this right side. This used to be full as well, and we still have some empty spots here. And there's a lot less, and I can basically just stand right in the middle of all these trucks. So Chevy is selling, and I think they're selling more than Ram, at least, for two reasons. And the first reason is right behind me. So you have some of these lower trim levels. This is a Chevy, this is a GMC, practically the same thing, with a more base trim level. And so this 2004 1500 Pro will run you an MSRP of $41,000. So they're already starting lower than what you see at Ram and Ford with their pretty much super high prices. I would never see a $41,000 entry-level Ford F-150. You're pretty much looking at 60 grand, and this is like almost 20 grand less. But one thing about that is it was not four-wheel drive. So what about a four-wheel drive full-size Chevy Silverado? They don't have the full window sticker that I can see here, but they had this little tag with their addendums on it. It's a 2024 with couple thousand grand worth of add-ons for $57,395, and it is four-wheel drive in a nice black color, and that is one of the like mid to lower trim levels, so it's kind of pushing itself back up there to the Ford entry-level territory. But what about this higher trim level ZR2 Bison we got right here? We got the ZR2 Bison in black, and it is a Duramax, so that might bring the price up over the V8 engine. And it's pretty dark here, but it's a 2024 ZR2 four-wheel drive, and the price is where we get insane. It's $82,305 for the ZR2 Bison trim level. Since I was here last in December, they did get rid of a lot of them. So obviously we got this row, it still goes around here, but there's actually an end to all the truck craziness. The row actually stops right here at the curb, and they filled it with all of these Ford truck, work truck, and a Ford work box truck, and more work trucks here. And before, they didn't really have much room to put anything else. And as you can see here, they're now able to fit some other trucks other than F-150s. But they still have this row here and the heavy duty trucks there. And they still have an entire row of 2023 Lightning. And that's one of Ford's big struggles, is their EV stuff is just really not selling very well at all right now. And those big discounts like you saw at $15,000 off are reflecting the change in the market to where a lot of early adopters bought these trucks and then there's no one else left to buy them. At least not at the scale necessary to have all of this inventory of Lightnings. Check this white 2023 Off-Road FX4. There's no sticker in there that I can read either. Doesn't make it too easy to look at prices. Here's a Sport, and there's a sticker in the window. And take a note that this is not four-wheel drive. It's a two-wheel drive XLT. And for a two-wheel drive, I still think this is too much, but it's a 2023 with the V6 for $57,970. I think a two-wheel drive Sport trim level should be like 42 grand, you know, no higher. So that price still, I still get sticker shock every time I see the prices over the past 3 years on these Fords, but I still think the truck prices are a little bit too high. Actually, a lot too high. And I wish they would write the discounts on the window just so you have an idea of what you could get, because it would probably help people walking around the lot if they saw that there was stuff discounted without having to talk to anybody, instead of walking on a lot, you know, kind of get turned off by the prices. Not everybody wants a full-size truck, and not everybody wants an older one that might need a little bit of work. So if you want to be on a budget, you can get a little bit older mid-size truck. And here are three cool options for older but newer mid-size trucks that are still fun, cheap, and reliable, or easy to work on. This 2015 Toyota Tacoma, this 2019 Ford Ranger, and this 2017 Chevy Colorado. And the cool thing is, I was actually going to film each one of these individually, but this dealer here in Boise, Idaho actually had three parked right next to each other. I'm gonna go around each one and just tell you why I think they're good options for a newer, cheaper mid-size trucks, because a lot of you have been asking, what about mid-size trucks? What about used trucks? So here's three that I think are really good buys. So this 2015 Tacoma is my favorite pick out of all three of these trucks in the lineup. It actually is the oldest one and has the highest miles. This has 175,000 miles and is a 2015. And I can't see how much they're asking for it because the tag actually fell out of the window and flipped upside down in the seat right there. I don't know if you can see that with the reflection, but it is very clean. They threw brand new KO2s on it, and I don't even see any rock chips on the front, maybe just a couple right here. But the reason I think out of these three that this Toyota Tacoma is the best is no matter how many miles are on a Toyota Tacoma, as long as it was well maintained and just taken care of, this thing will run 500,000 miles or even more if you just take care of it. So buying one of these, even with high miles, don't let that scare you because it is a really good option and they're super reliable. The next is this Ranger. It's a bit newer. If you wanted a newer truck and you really don't need a full-size one, but you wanted to do truck stuff, this Ranger is a good option. And it is a bit newer, super lower miles. But let me show you how much they want for it. They want $33,995 for it, and it has 29,000 miles. And if you go to a Ford lot, new Rangers have been pretty much impossible to find. I've never really seen maybe one or two in the past several months at dealer lots. So the second they get there, these Rangers are gone. So these Rangers are in very high demand, and for a lot of good reasons. They're the perfect size. They're a little bit more reliable than I'd say some of the turbo F-150s. The turbo F-150s kind of have their own set of issues there to work with. Plus you're going to get a lot better gas mileage in this Ranger, and they're just fun little trucks. And at 33 for this 2019, it's not going to break the bank. You're not spending 65, 75 on a new overloaded full-size truck. And this one even has the FX4 off-road packages. And the aftermarket provides a lot of cool stuff for these to lift them and do fun off-roady things. And that brings us to the Chevy Colorado, which is also a Z71 off-road package, full-wheel drive. So up here in Idaho, it's better to have full-wheel drive. You don't want to get stuck in a sketchy situation. But this is a 2017, really pretty like purplish blue color. And this one's actually a lot less than the Ford Ranger. It's a 17 with 95,000 miles, and it looks like they dropped the price. It was $23,495, but this new sticker says $21,495. So even with 95,000 miles, this is a really good option. But to be honest, again, out of these three, even though that Toyota has 170 something thousand miles, I would still choose the Toyota as the best mid-size affordable truck option if you're gonna go down the used truck route. Now let's go look at the next used truck. For this next truck, we're stepping back into the full size, and we're going a little bit newer than the OBS Ford and the 2002 Tundra, and that's gonna be this second generation 2010 Toyota Tundra, which also has the super reliable V8. And this is a really pretty white color. It does look like it's two-wheel drive. And I think these are a very good option because they weren't the most popular of the Tundras. And that's because they had like this really weird, like kind of bubble style look that some people liked, some people didn't. But the cool thing about these is because they're a little bit less desirable of a model, some of them are a really good price. This 2010 is 196,000 miles, and they're asking $9,995, so just like 10 grand. And the interior, from what I can see, looks really, really well taken care of. And so does the front end. You got a little fogginess on the headlights here, but that happens a lot to these older vehicles with the plastic headlights. But these Tundra, no matter what generation of Tundra you buy, it's pretty much going to last forever as long as you take care of it. And this is a good option if you're going to want a full-size truck that's a little bit new, has some of the more modern creature comforts, but you still don't want to break the bank. And speaking of four-wheel drive second-gen Toyota Tundras, we found one right here. And this is a good example of the popularity of 4x4 truck in the north where there's a ton of snow. This is the same generation as that two-wheel drive that I showed you just down there. 183,000 miles, so around 10,000 miles less. However, this one is about $9,000 more at $18,995. Still has the V8, but it is the TRD off-road package and brand new KO2s. You just have to decide, like, if you're gonna buy one of these second-gen Tundras, do I want to pony up for four-wheel drive or save $9,000 and go with that two-wheel drive that I showed you earlier? This next truck is also full-size and a little bit newer and more modern, but it's a really, really good bargain that I think a lot of people overlook. And that is this 2015 F-150 XLT with some nice Toyo tires on it in a beautiful white color. So I think this one gets slept on a lot. It has 156,000 miles and they want $18,995, so around $19,000 for it. But I wouldn't be too afraid of the mileage because it does have a really good V8 engine that is super easy to work on. And the trick is with these, you just want to make sure it has a good Carfax history with good maintenance records. So if it was well taken care of, belts and serviced, oil changes, any gaskets replaced that needed replaced, there's not a lot of oil all over the thing, I would grab one of these, and instead of paying $65,000 for a new XLT, you can get this one for under 20 grand and still have a ton of fun in this older F-150. And here's the thing with these used F-150s, if you like to get a little bit fancier and you want a higher trim level and four-wheel drive, then you can actually grab this 2019 F-150 Lariat package with four-wheel drive and only 77,000 miles for $28,995. As you've seen in my other videos, a new Lariat, it is like $68,000. And that one is under 100,000 miles. And again, if this is well taken care of and you want a newer vehicle, I would check out one of these pre-20 models, pre-COVID model F-150s, because a lot of the Ford trucks and a lot of these other trucks in general, after 2020 got a lot more expensive because it was more expensive for these manufacturers to get the parts, and that kind of ran the prices up as well. So for a full-size newer used truck, this is a perfect choice if you need all the bells and whistles and four-wheel drive. Here's a used truck I thought was interesting for you guys and girls with bigger budgets. This is a 21 F-150 Raptor with some rigid lights and some aftermarket fuel wheels and KO2 tires. But one thing I noticed about this is when I go look at the brand new 2023 models, 24 models that are on Ford's lot, they're around $95,000, but I would say skip a brand new one. This 21 only has 25,000 miles and it's $71,995. So if you have a bigger budget and you want a newer Raptor, grab one that's just like 2 years old with some miles, and it looks like with this price, you're gonna save over $20,000 on a Raptor. Just thought that was interesting. I know we're trying to talk about cheaper trucks, but just kind of an observation that I saw with that Raptor.